Well, hello everybody. It is Tuesday night. It is 6:30 and we are live tonight. We are going to Jackalope. So Jackalope Hotels, which is on the Mornington Peninsula. We are going to be talking to the Food and Beverage Director, Ollie Tucker. Hi there.
How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
Well, thank you.
It's good to put a face to the name.
Likewise.
I know, look, thank you. I know you had a mad rush to get back out to Jackalope this afternoon to be able to chat with us, so thank you.
Pleasure. Thanks for having me.
And I also just want to shout out, I don't know if he's on yet, but Roger Simpson, who actually put this together for us, he actually kind of, I think, gently coerced you into saying yes. So Roger's from the Mornington Peninsula Brewery, so when he finally watches this, thank you, Roger, for setting this up.
Not at all. I can tap into some free beers too.
Yeah, he's strong-armed you. He's strong-armed you.
That's it.
So, have you got yourself a drink? Because it is customary. What have you got?
Just a beer. Don't tell Roger, but it's Moo Brew.
That's okay. That's okay. Look, he got us this far. We don't need him anymore. Sorry, Roger. But anyway, well, I've got my obligatory weekly Fireball shot, which I'm having a little sneaky sip of. So
Love it. I wasn't driving.
I know, exactly. All right, so let's get straight into it. I guess, firstly, let's hear about you and your role, obviously the Director of Food and Beverage for this iconic and amazing space that we know as Jackalope. Can you tell me when you first started working for them, or how long have you been involved with them?
Yeah, so being down here for 4 years, I was in Sydney beforehand, working in restaurants in Sydney, and moved down just before pre-opening actually, and worked at Rare Hair to start with, the more casual restaurant, and then Doot, the more formal restaurant, and then took over as Director of Food and Beverage.
Wow.
So yeah, it's been 4 years now, and it's certainly changed quite a lot since then. And I've loved living down here, but a big change from Sydney.
Yeah, absolutely. And are you kind of wishing you were back in Sydney so that you have a little bit more freedom? Or are you just rolling the Melbourne COVID wave like we all are?
Well, to be honest, I feel pretty lucky because I've been living down in Rye. So it's like just pretending you're on holiday the whole time. But I am missing Sydney for sure. Yeah,
I bet. And all your friends and all we're seeing on Instagram is everybody just leading a normal life, and here we are just wanting to kind of go a little bit further than our own homes, which we're slowly starting to do.
That's it. I think I'm kind of lucky that I'm not on Instagram, apart from today.
Yeah. So I know.
I stay away from all of those photos.
You don't need that sort of torment, trust me, you don't need it. And I've actually unsubscribed pretty much to all of my travel newsletters and all the traveling things that I normally watch. I'm like, can I just put a big fat pause on that for a bit? Because it's actually quite depressing. So just come back to that. So, okay, so you've been there for 4 years. So when did Jackalope open? Was it 4 years ago?
Yeah, so we opened actually the 1st of April 2017.
Right.
Lots of people don't believe that because it is April Fool's Day.
April Fool's.
But it's been an incredible journey since then. So we're a 45-room hotel. Of course, we've got, as I said, we've got Rare Hair, the more casual dining area, which has got a huge outdoor space, which is going to come in super useful when we can reopen. I'm currently sitting in Flagadoot, which is the cocktail bar, which will actually have to transform into dining space when we reopen.
Right.
Then we've got Doot, which has got the 10,000 light globe chandelier as the main light installation, which is incredible if you're able to sit under it and have dinner.
Wow.
And then, of course, we've got 45 hotel rooms and the black infinity pool that looks over the vineyard.
I know, it's just stunning. I think, I'm kind of ashamed to say, but I think I'm probably one of the only people in the whole of Victoria that has not actually been to Jackalope, which is pretty bad to fess up. I know. So I've been meaning to get down there and I've tried to book, and then the times that I've wanted to, it's been booked out because it's so sought after to get down there that it's kind of tricky to get in.
Yeah, we're super lucky. I think just being an hour's drive from Melbourne, so you can just jump in the car, drive, and you're automatically on holiday, is a big win. You know, rather than having to drive to the airport, jump on an airplane, fly to Queensland, and you're exhausted by the time you get there. So I think just being an hour outside of Melbourne, but feeling like you're a million miles away is a big thing.
Yeah, for sure. Can we just touch briefly just on the architecture, and then we'll get into obviously the dining and what you're doing, and obviously your input and everything. So obviously car design is, you know, obviously key because they were architectural, they're involved with it. How many years of planning do you know?
So Lewis,
how did it all start?
Yeah, so Lewis bought the vineyard in 2013. Then the ground was broken in 2015, and then we opened in 2017. Car Designs were the architect of the whole hotel, but there was a lot of collaborations, and a lot of local artists were involved. Andrew Hazelwinkle did those little faces behind me. The big jackalope that you see when you drive up the driveway was Emily Floyd. Jan Fluke did the light installation that you see in Doot Doot Doot. Zuster did a lot of the furniture, and so really there is a lot of people's artwork and influence that's just represented throughout the whole hotel. That was really nicely kind of just strung together by Car Designs, and they did a fantastic job with that.
Absolutely. Well, that's the thing. When doing the research, it was obvious that there was a big collaborative effort, and with a real focal point on not only the architectural and the design, which Car have executed beautifully, but also the art and the componentry of the art as being a full immersive experience as well. So you're not
Lewis is huge into art, and he really wanted to bring that in part of the storytelling part of the hotel, I suppose. Every area of the hotel represents a different part of alchemy, and so like the bar that we're sitting in at the moment represents the distillation process, kind of hence those science tubey type lights. Doot 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 represents the fermentation process, hence that rippling effect of the chandelier. We've got the multiplication process in the pool. So every single part of the hotel, wherever you go, does tell a story or helps to tell that story.
So it's a real tapestry of kind of the history, how it's evolved, and obviously a full journey. So when you're there, you actually get to kind of go from space to space and then be immersed with the whole story. So the Rolf Sachs, he's got the light chemistry with all the flowing cables. Is that in the bar that you're in, or is?
So there's two spots. I suppose there's the little lights behind me there that you can see the chemistry. And then also in the entrance to Doot Doot Doot.
Yeah, fantastic. All right. So that's so, I mean, it's just so stunning. And
it is.
So, go on.
No, I was going to say, I think it's that kind of juxtaposition that you get between like being regional and sitting on a vineyard, so that very kind of natural surrounding, and then this really quite striking architecture and building that just pops up out of nowhere from the vineyard as well. And the bar is actually in the old McCormack house, which is the old homestead that has been here since the late 1800s.
Well, 1876, that's when that was the Edwardian McCormack house. So that was built in 1876. So, I mean, you're steeped in history. So you've got obviously that architectural history and the longevity of that building. And then obviously with everything that's modern and the cutting edge, kind of really uber chic sort of design aesthetic of the hotel rooms. They're all very minimalistic, but in saying that they're still very opulent and warm, and there's dark colours, and it's actually quite stunning. We were very lucky to have Fleur Sybil as one of our first guests, so probably like episode 2 or 3. Now we're up to 28, and obviously their workmanship and craftsmanship from Zuster and the furniture, and obviously the bespoke pieces that they've made for you guys as well. I mean, it's just beautiful, and I guess everything that you guys have put into it it's at a high level. Like you can just see that it's been well thought out all the way through.
I think it's I feel very lucky the fact that, you know, we are working in such beautiful surroundings with beautiful furniture. And it's not just very generic restaurant or hotel furniture. You know, everything is handmade and well thought out and designed beautifully. So it makes coming to work even more enjoyable, I suppose.
And that's the thing. I mean, obviously, you know, you're a luxurious space. Your price point, you know, you're at the mid to high end range that people are coming. With the high. I was going to kind of go like, it's, you know, as someone once said to me recently, affordable luxury. But, you know, it is really high end. But you know, that's the whole reason why you're there. Is it's a special treat. You're saved up. You know you're going to be spending, you know, top dollar, but you're also going to be immersed in such a beautiful surroundings, which reflects what you're spending. So it kind of goes twofold, I guess. You've got to spend it to make it, to get it, to kind of be there.
Escape reality is kind of one of our taglines, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. So your role as the food and beverage director, so do you oversee...
Don't do much.
Yeah, well, do you oversee every menu for every part of the hotel?
So Guy Stanaway,
section?
Yeah, Guy Stanaway is an incredible chef, and he looks after all the menus for all of the restaurants in the hotels, and a lot of it is his, his dream and vision, and he is incredible food. And then I look after the kind of delivery in terms of like front of house service and how it's all kind of served and delivered, and the restaurant spaces. And I mean, there's quite a few food and beverage parts. So of course, as I mentioned, the 2 restaurants, the bar, we've also got the cellar door. In-room dining is quite a big part of what we do, or I think it's going to be an even bigger part of what we do, just because people aren't going out to restaurants as much. Pool bar and events as well is quite a big thing for us too. So it's just looking after all of those different operations. Yeah. And
managing expectations as well, because I mean, the chef's obviously putting together this, amazing,
incredible food
amount of combinations of foods and local produce, and obviously, seasonal produce. And then he's got a certain way that he wants it sent out, and then you've got to make sure that your staff are sending it out and representing it properly as well. So the machinations of everything, like, you've got quite a bit of pressure on your shoulders, I would imagine.
I mean, maybe I should think of it a bit more like pressure, but I think it's just being able to deliver that really kind of exciting experience that people come here for. And I suppose that it's kind of the difference between going from restaurants to hotels, and that's what I have quite enjoyed, is that you're with these people for their like 24 or 48 hours, or sometimes even more. So you're really there to deliver that incredible experience, and then you see them at breakfast, and then you know that they've been out on a wine tour all day, and so then when you see them for dinner again, you can ask what they've been up to, and so you are as much a part of that experience as they are. And I think that's a really fun thing too. Yeah,
it's almost like you're on a luxury yacht, and you're not, they're not, I mean, they're able to kind of get off and do a little day tour and duck off and see things in the surrounding areas, but ultimately they're coming back to you every day or every morning or every night. And you're right, you've got to be part of the way you deal with it, is how they're going to ultimately go away from that experience as well.
And the experience needs to be seamless. I suppose the idea would be that you could kind of drive and leave your car in the car park on Friday and actually not have to get back in until you check out on Sunday. So you could arrive, have dinner, drinks in the bar Friday, Saturday late breakfast, walk around the vineyard, do a wine tasting, dinner, Sunday morning, and then maybe go for a swim before dinner, Sunday morning, late breakfast, have a swim, check out, and actually you've managed to fill your whole weekend without even leaving the property and not really doing the same thing twice.
Yeah, absolutely. So there's a number of packages that you guys are obviously, advertising at the moment. And it's obviously tricky because I saw that, you can pay a deposit which would be refundable based on how we're allowed to move around Victoria. So how do you see it changing? You're saying in-room dining, etc., might be more of a thing.
Well,
are you still, I mean, how do you see that people are going to be coming up for day trips more than staying? Or
look, I think everyone is just so desperate to get out of the house. I think everybody that normally goes over to Europe or to America, wherever, for their holidays, we're now not able to do that. So I think that there's going to be huge pressure on the Mornington Peninsula, the Yarra Valley, anywhere kind of regional, for people just to go out and do something. Everyone's bored of being in their 5 kilometers, so people want to do new things. I think people might come and stay even that they wouldn't have beforehand, because everybody's had a big birthday, everybody's had a celebration or an anniversary that's been in lockdown. So I think that people will come to us, hopefully, and stay. We're pretty much fully booked all weekends for the rest of the year. So people are wanting to go away and have a holiday, do something else. Yeah.
And did you used to do the 7-day packages pre-COVID?
No, they're new.
Was that a new?
The 4-day and the 7-day packages are new.
Yeah, right.
And that's the thing. There's also so much to do in the region, and I think that we need to work. We do work together as a region and really promote that. There are so many fantastic restaurants down here, so we should be. You know, people should be able to come to stay with us and then go and eat at all the other fantastic restaurants at the same time.
Yeah, and I saw that, I noticed that, and I thought, you know, once again, it's a collaborative effort of being able to support all the other local, you know, not only the local community, but all the other local restaurants and you know, wineries and stuff, and not saying, well, you're just coming to Jackalope, so therefore you must be locked down to stay here.
Not at all.
There's a big list of things that you can do in the surrounding areas, which I think is really good. So
the busier we are, the busier where everyone else is, that ecosystem goes, and it should, everyone should profit.
We just had a comment from Fashionista. Now, she's actually overseas at the moment, but saying such a good space, so lucky to have it on our doorstep. So obviously normally in Melbourne, but living overseas at the moment. And you're right, we are so lucky to have it on our doorstep. Yeah. And she is also a personal chef, so she's very interested in tonight's chat, I would imagine. Awesome. So there you go. So I also saw, and that's something that you probably have coming up as well, that you do like yoga retreats, so people can come and be totally zen, but then also duck into the cellar door and have a little wine and become even more zen.
It's all about balance, I think, isn't it?
All about balance. Well, I love the idea of that. I've been thinking that that's such a great idea, and you can do a bit of yoga, a bit of Pilates, and then just sit out and have a nice glass of wine. It's all about the balance. So I think that's when I'll come. When that's on, that's when I'm going to come and stay with you guys and book in on one of those retreats.
Yeah, so we've done a few of those retreats. We've also partner with Lululemon, and they'll come and do yoga on Sunday mornings as well over the summertime. So
good, so good.
It's all about balance.
So how have you guys, because we're all talking about pivoting, which is our 2020 word, how have you guys pivoted and adapted the business? So let's say the food and beverage. So your pickup service, your pickup menu, obviously hugely successful.
Yeah, we've been very lucky.
The biggest change? Well,
over the last 13 or 14 weeks, we've done rare hair at home. And it's actually been, I mean, the best thing is being able to kind of stay present. So people are still ordering with us, but actually kind of stay connected to the staff. You know, we've been doing, it's $45. We've been loading eskies in the back of cars, driving around all over to Melbourne and delivering the food. We've had incredible support. Lots of people ordered time and time again, which was excellent. People that said, like, we haven't been able to get into the restaurant before, and so now we can just enjoy it at home. This weekend we're doing Doot at home. So 4 courses. It'll be from the new menu. So that's for the new Doot menu for when we reopen. So it gives the kitchen a chance to practice, the staff some time to learn the food as well, and it just gives us something extra to do this week, and then hopefully we can open next week.
That's the plan.
But it's pushing the wine business, doing takeaway, and as I said, like, none of us, we all know no one's going to make huge amounts of money doing this, but it's being able to kind of, as I said, stay connected with the community as well as the staff.
Absolutely. Do you think that you'll keep doing the pickup or takeaway menu once we get back to some normality?
Don't think so. We're going to do picnics instead for in-house guests.
Yeah, perfect.
So people can just pick them up.
Did you do that previously?
No, we didn't.
Right.
No, so we've got some picnic benches down by the lake now, so people can book to have picnics down by the lake, or take them off, because there's so many beautiful walks to do on the peninsula. You know, if we can give you a picnic to take away and have it somewhere else, then we can do that too.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a great idea, and I think that's kind of a buzzword that I've been seeing over the last couple of weeks with a lot of the, you know, the better restaurants. Let's just like Entrecart and stuff like that.
Yeah,
doing all these picnics, and so all of a sudden it's like, well, we're heading into, you know, summer, so it's, and if we can't get into the restaurant because they can only seat 10 people, it's not really financially viable for a lot of our hospitality restaurants to even open up in a couple of weeks. So. Yeah. I guess not wanting to get political, but even though you're saying, yeah, hospitality can resume, it's so restricted that the bigger hotels, bars and restaurants simply can't afford to do it.
Totally. I mean, we're lucky in the fact that, you know, we have land. So we can put a marquee on the lawn, so we can do outdoor dining for rare hair. Right. A courtyard that we can serve breakfast in for hotel guests in the morning. We have space to be able to accommodate dining outdoors and stick to all of the rules. But I mean, I was up in Flinders Lane this afternoon, and you see all of those restaurants, and how are they possibly, you know, get 2 car spots each to open? How are they going to do it? It's heartbreaking to see and to hear. I just don't think it's going to work. Like, I tried to book a couple of restaurants on Monday, you know, with girlfriends, and we were like, great, you know, Monday the 2nd or 3rd, let's go, 5 o'clock, we'll have drinks and dinner. And no one's actually taking the bookings. And then Bistro Terry actually took the booking, and then today had to say we're devastated to say we're probably not going to be able to do it because we seat 65 people and technically we're only allowed to have 10. It's not going to happen. Yeah. It's like there's a carrot being given, but it's also being yanked, and, you know. Yeah, I feel devastated for quite a few guests who booked in, had to cancel when COVID started, rebooked in when we had that few weeks we could open, then had to cancel again, and it's just
it's just, look,
it doesn't matter how tolerant of course you're going to get upset about it. It's infuriating.
Yeah, I know, but I guess
no one can do about it, but it's...
And that's the only thing. It's not like you're turning around and saying, hey, listen, guys, look, we kind of mucked it up. We can't let you in, you know, and we can't get you in. We've overbooked or whatever, double booked. And you would never do that. But if there was an error, then obviously the patron would be like, well, come on. But, I mean, we're all just kind of getting knocked back every time we think we're going to get a little bit further ahead. We just understand that it's not quite going to plan. So anyway, all right.
But our booking reports, our bookings for rare hair after the announcement on Sunday went through the roof, overnight on Sunday and Monday. So people are wanting to get things booked in, that's for sure.
Correct. And so how many people can you hold, socially distanced, safe? How many people on your whole area?
Well, so we can, for rare hair, for example, we can seat 50 people outside. And that'll be between a marquee, that's the max, between the marquee and outdoor dining. Okay. But, you know, if some of that is not undercover, so if it was raining, we would only be able to fit 32. Right. Because that's what's, sorry.
No, sorry.
That would be under the marquee.
And is that going to be seven days a week? Are you going to run it that way, 7 days a week?
Yeah. So when we reopen, we'll go back to the hotel operation. We'll run for 7 days. Will be a 7 day a week operation. Rare hair will go back to being 7 lunches and 2 dinners on Friday and Saturday. Doot will be just dinners, so 7 nights, and we'll only be able to accommodate hotel guests then. Right.
Okay. So you still have the facilities to be able to allow quite a significant number of people to be there, be safe, and still be able to enjoy the atmosphere. I found in the last lockdown when I went to a restaurant, you know, went to the Espy and they only had 12 people in the restaurant.
I mean, it's crazy. You kind of almost like, size.
Yeah, it's almost like, look, it's great to be out, but it was a set menu. It was this. There was no deterring. It was your cocktail is this, your wine is this, and you've got to be out in an hour. And it was like, I think I'd rather just stay home and just kind of order it in because it was pressure.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the hardest thing is finding that balance. Between still guests feeling relaxed and like they're there to have a good time, but
absolutely,
everyone's on a time restriction, everyone's on 2 hours, a lot of places are doing set menus. We've always done a set menu in Doot, but rare hair will remain a la carte.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so you've got what, four restaurants? 1, 2, 3 restaurants, a cocktail lounge.
Yeah, 2 restaurants, a cocktail lounge, cellar door, 2 event space, an event space that can be
broken down to 2 or opened up.
Right.
A pool bar, a geode.
Yeah, everything. All of it. So we'll go for a little bit of a walk in a minute, and if anyone wants to ask any questions, or if anyone has been or hasn't been and you want to see something specific, we might be able to show it. I did just want to kind of go back just one sort of step backwards into the art and how we were talking about that earlier. Obviously the Rain Room, which was hugely successful in St Kilda, there was like 75,000 visitors actually, you know, went and saw that installation, which is that immersive kind of nature, the water, and that was supposed to be coming back to you guys. Is that right?
Well, so
to the pavilion.
The pavilion is on top of the Prince of Wales in St Kilda.
Yeah.
So it's still there. Hopefully, we're able to turn it back on and welcome people back soon.
Well, you could be socially distanced in there. Just go in there.
You have to be socially distanced in there.
Anyway, I know. It's probably the only place, actually, that's probably the only place in Melbourne that you can go. So why don't they just bring the Rain Room back, and then we'll get a picnic basket from you, head to the pavilion and kind of do that. So, so very exciting.
Yeah, the Rain Room, hopefully will be back open soon. But
yeah, it's like with everything. So should we go for a little bit of a walk and just kind of see the space?
I can show you around the bar here. So we flip here a sec. So this is how we've turned the bar into that will have the bar in turn the bar into dining space now. So we could just have 10 people sitting in here. It'll be pretty cool to sit amongst kind of the Andrew Hazelwinkle faces.
Wow.
The pool table, which you won't be able to use whilst eating. It's a pretty kind of cool space to be in.
It's just stunning. I mean, the use of marble and then just that repetitive glass up there is just so much impact.
And then I think the to show you the jackalope and everything.
So that's about 7 or 8 meters high.
Yeah, it is, and that's the Emily Floyd jackalope, which is exciting. And then what everybody is really here for is the view.
Show us the money shot. Oh, there you go. Just beautiful.
So just getting ready to get it open.
I mean, it looks so calm, and it just looks so, you know, as you said, that real juxtaposition between the contemporary and then the old world of the other buildings. And it's just such a beautiful, beautiful space.
Yeah, it is. I think it's been done really, really well. So very lucky to work here.
So what? Tell us about any awards or anything that you guys have.
Well, we were pretty lucky when we opened. Won a lot of the Gourmet Traveller awards for best hotel, best new hotel, best regional hotel, the Hot 100 list in Condé Nast. So both restaurants have got a hat, which we're very proud of as well. So there's been some really great recognition that you know, of course, we're incredibly humbled by. And it's just nice to be recognised both locally and internationally as well.
Amazing. And do you have like, how many staff do you currently have that work there? Do you know?
Yeah, well, I mean, once we're all back into full operation, it's probably about 150, I would say.
Wow.
Yeah, which is a lot. I mean, we had 90 people on JobKeeper, so that's
that's a lot. That's a lot of people.
Hopefully, we're going to be able to have everybody back. When we reopen.
And are most of the staff, are they from the Mornington Peninsula or surrounding areas? Is there a mix from the CBD?
Yeah, there's kind of a bit of a mix. Quite a few of the managers drive down from the CBD. They're based in kind of both. Restaurant managers are based in St Kilda. The wine manager is based up there as well. So a lot of people kind of drive around. But as I said, I'm down in Rye at the moment. It takes me 35 minutes to get to work. So if you live in the city, you know, you can get down here in 50 minutes from St Kilda on a good run. So
absolutely.
Although
you're just going that way,
whereas they're going the other way.
Yeah, no, that's good. It's so good. Well, I can't wait to come down there. So I'm going to jump in and just try to book something, anything, even if it's just the picnic. I know. Wonder if Roger could score me like a bit of a good deal as well. How about that?
Just email me.
Probably
I'll
not.
be able to sort you out.
Probably not when there's everybody lining up to kind of get there. So how do you sort of see things moving forward? Obviously, we've touched on it briefly about COVID, and we're all just caught up in it and whatever, and we just want to get everything moving again. So over the next 12 months, let's say we still have to be staggered with the way we address our businesses, and we still have to adapt and sort of obviously coordinate. But have you got any big plans for Jackalope as we move forward?
Yeah, I think that the biggest change for Rare Hair would be we always used to work on a walk-in basis. However, that is now not going to be possible, so it'll be bookings only. It's just making sure that we know where everybody is at all times. So the pool has only got 50 people out there, and the bar there's only it's actually the biggest change will be going from making an experience the most luxurious or relaxing experience to being a COVID safe one. And I suppose it's just masking that COVID safe and still making people feel like they're having a luxurious time.
Did you say masking as like a pun?
Well,
COVID.
But you know what I mean?
That was really good. It was really good. We're going to be masking.
We want everyone to know that we're doing the right thing, but it just doesn't. We just don't want it to be. You don't want it shoved down your throat all the time, I suppose. So it's just restricting the amount of people that come up to the property. And as I said, just making sure that we stick to all the rules.
Yeah, and I think that's really important. And I think that's probably how we're all going to move forward, is that we're going to be a lot more aware of maybe hygiene and safety precautions. Have you been instrumental, or has your team been instrumental with changing any, I'm not saying that you weren't hygienic, but have there been additions to the hygiene?
If I send out another email that has COVID safe or COVID plan in the subject line, I think people will stop reading them. But we've got all of that, which we had to, and that's the difference.
Yeah, no, definitely. So just to kind of go back to like maybe events and things like that, what would the ratio be for people? Do people get married? Can people get married in the winery?
We've lost wedding season this season, of course, and a lot of people will come and they'll buy out the whole hotel. So to have exclusive use, it means you've got all the hotel rooms and access to all the areas as well, which again makes it more than just a day. It's kind of you have it for the whole weekend, and that's kind of pretty special. But I think what we're seeing a lot now is inquiries for little elopements. So many people unfortunately had these amazing big weddings planned that they just can't go through with now. So they've almost just said, bugger it, let's just take 10 of our closest friends, we'll go out and we'll have So I think there's been a big shift in event inquiries for small elopements rather than the big weddings that they originally had planned.
Which, I mean, could be good. You don't always need to have 200 people at your wedding, and maybe,
I think people still want the big wedding next year, but they just want to get
this
married.
year they just want to get married. Well, I read something on Instagram the other day. It was some little meme, and it said, for Christmas I'm going to have a funeral for my turkey so that I can invite 20 people over.
That's exactly right. Yeah.
So it's like, how do we kind of just fudge it a little bit?
Yeah, but I suppose the hardest thing is taking the inquiries when you don't know when you'll be allowed to have more than 10 or 20 people.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's it. I mean, you just got to keep saying yes, and then I guess we just keep adjusting and
adapting and
figuring it out as we go. No, well, that's so good. So we've got quite a few people in. I'm just wondering if anyone would like to ask any questions, or can you take us back? Can we go back to the bar and just kind of very slowly I would just love to see the architecture of that bar and look at that marble. So what's on the floor there? Can we just do a little bit of a design tour? What are you on? Are you on a rainbow timber floor?
Yep. And that goes throughout the barn.
So once again, that's quite a traditional flooring, which is obviously, as we're saying, this juxtaposition between the modern and the old.
And it has the original fireplaces that they had, that was in the old format house, and that's what has been able to break.
Beautiful. And how long is that bar? How many can you seat in normal times at that space? Just, I can't quite hear you.
Sorry, eight people usually.
Yeah, wow. And then can we just have a look behind the bar just so we can get a sense of, like, it's simple, but it's just so striking, isn't it, with the glass and the lighting and the marble.
Yeah.
What are all those little bottles?
They are filled with water and some oil, and that's where these fall into. So part of the distillation process, part of that distillation storytelling.
Oh, wow. And then the iconic, I think you've gone the other way, but the iconic electric blue.
Yes, pool table.
Oh, there we go. More construction group. Very nice. Love some cocktails soon. I think that more construction, so I work with, would probably like a Negroni. Sitting right at that bar.
We have plenty of those.
He's a Negroni guy. Yeah, so the electric blue pool table, let's just have another look at that, because that's, like, how's the colour? Like, it's just, it's custom made for you guys?
Yes. So very, very lucky.
Yeah, perfect. Oh, all right. Well, maybe just show us that view one more time that you're lucky enough to see every day.
Yes.
I mean, it's good. And, you know, I guess, as you said, the difference is it's not a stand-up bar anymore. It's not going to be a seated bar and everyone has to sit there. But, you know, if we can just get there and sit there, I think we're going to just be really grateful that we can even just be there.
Totally.
Wow. How big is the space? How big is the land?
The vineyard is 11 hectares.
11 hectares, yeah.
About 25 acres.
Yeah, huge. So even just maintenance crews, like even just gardeners and land, I mean, obviously the landscaping is key as well.
Yeah.
But just running the whole operation is...
I think that's the thing. We just can't forget that it is a working winery, and the vineyard was planted in 89, and that's what came first, and we have to show huge respect to that. And that's the reason we're here, is because it's a vineyard. So we're very lucky, and Geraldine McFall is the winemaker and has been making incredible wines since 2008.
And what is your most popular wine or grape? Like,
Pinot and Chardonnay. We're actually, after the vintage of 2000, we poured out Cabernet at the end of the vintage of 2018, and at the end of the vintage of 2019, we poured out the Sauvignon Blanc and the Pinot Gris.
Wow.
So now we're just Pinot and Chardonnay.
Yum. You're making me thirsty.
Have a wine.
So Kerry Godfrey has just said, love to be there with that glorious fire burning. Yes, and sipping on a wine. Yes. Now, one of my, a lady that I know, Susan Cowling.
Yes, has been doing rare hair at home.
Right. So, unfortunately, like, she has been waiting for you to come on live for weeks. I told her, she's like, oh my God. So I messaged her today and I said, we're on. And she said she's got a school valedictory virtual dinner tonight. And so she's going to watch this afterwards. But she said, I can't join in. So, because she was like, I want to see him. I want to see what he looks like. I've been talking to him for months. So, Susan, this is Ollie Tucker. So there you go. This is your man.
He needs a haircut. He hasn't been able to get in for one of those yet.
Well, I went today, so I just said at the start of this, like every woman in Victoria, we were just like, go.
Get me in.
So yeah, fresh hair for the first time in months. Feels good.
Awesome.
Anyway, thank you. All right, well, I think that was fabulous, and I'm really, really grateful for you to say yes and show us that amazing property.
It's been a pleasure, and hopefully we can open soon and have you down.
Yeah, I'd love to. I'm just gonna come down and go. I know Ollie, so like
that's
getting in there. Yeah, no, but well done. You're doing a great job in 4 years, and just obviously overseeing all of that. That is huge. And as you said, nobody really understands the behind the scenes of keeping such a big operation running. And you know, if there's something that goes wrong, the guests never finding out, potentially because you've managed to kind of manage it. And that's obviously a credit to you, because you guys have got such a great reputation and you're iconic in Victoria and worldwide. And I very much look forward to coming down and seeing it for myself.
Awesome.
So, I know. Fantastic. All right.
Well,
thank you. I will let you go home. And hang on. We've just had a quick question. Will you be doing Christmas dinner to pick up?
At the moment, we won't. However, I can definitely talk to the kitchen about it, but I think we'll be just feeding our in-house guests on Christmas Day.
Right, okay.
But keep an eye out on Instagram, and if we do, it'll be all over social for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Fantastic. All right. Well, thank you. And if anyone else has got any other questions, this will go to IGTV straight after this. So if you wanted to ask something, obviously shoot a DM through and I can send it to Ollie and we can answer all your questions about Jackalope and bookings and what's coming up. And let's just get the state moving again so we can get down there and have some wine.
Awesome.
Fantastic. All right. Thanks
you. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Ollie. Lovely to meet you.
Yeah.
I will see you soon.
I'll hold you to it.
I'll hold you to it. All right.
Take care.
Thank you. See you later. All right. Well, that was so good. How amazing to actually kind of go to Jackalope on a Tuesday night in lockdown. Yay. And I said at the start, I'm almost embarrassed to say that I've never been there. Many a time I've tried to book and they've been booked out, but now I've got an in, so I'm holding you to that, Ollie. I'm coming down. All right, thank you guys. That was short and sweet and just amazing. And as I said, if anyone's got queries or questions, just message me and I can put you in touch. Well, obviously you can get yourself in touch with Jackalope, but if there's something that you want to hear about, let me know. All righty, so another one down, Live 28 down, and I will let you know that next week we have the very talented Danny Lyons, who is the senior consultant for Cafe Lighting Living Furniture, and she will be doing a live styling session with me, and we're going to be doing bookcases and or bed styling. So an interactive session next week because you guys have been asking for that, so I'm going to bring it to you. All right, have a great week, and if you're in Melbourne, go get your hair done. It makes you feel so much better. All right, see you guys. See you in a week. Bye.